What's up, people? Welcome back to the program. I appreciate the concern for people that have thought I have just finally fallen off the earth. I appreciate your emails of concern. And I'd like to tell you something. There is reason to be concerned. Because you gotta understand, when I first got this started with the Suck My NASDAQ program, it was all fun and games. I mean, I was making 5-10 grand a day without actually having to think about it. And that was before 11 o'clock. Going home, having a ball. Never thought I'd have to worry about money ever again in my life. Lots have changed. Lots of things have changed. And time has gone by with me holding on to the hope that those rah-rah days would come back. The sad part is, I should be still making money. Just going back to a conversation I had a few days ago when I called my accountant. She said, "You must be doing real well. Weren't you telling everybody to sell out of stocks in May?" And I said, "Yeah. It's a good thing I did that because I would be broke right now." She said, "Weren't you telling me to short GM and some agriculture stock and some shipping company?" Yeah. I think the worst thing a trader could probably hear is, "You probably did really well," or any investor, or anybody. You gotta love it when what that means is you actually went and told somebody the right thing. So how come you didn't make any money? What happened? What happened from the time where you thought that you were talking about a good idea to the point where the idea was so good that you were letting other people know about it? What you think was going to happen, and you turned out to be right, but yet you failed to make money. That is the plight that I live in. A lot of times the situation is I'll be in a position where it's such a big position that as soon as I make money on it, I forget to look a little bit longer term. So let's look at the Bear Stearns puts that I had bought, and I heard that they were in trouble, so I bought those puts. Next thing you know, a Warren Buffett rumor came around. Next thing you know, I got 100 puts, and I'm getting hammered on it. So the first time that stock started going back down, I was so blinded by the fact that, oh, good, thank God I'm not losing 20 grand here. Let me take this 8 grand profit, forgetting that I thought the stock was probably going to go to 50 or 40. Forgot about that. Just so happy that I wasn't losing that money that I decided to get out. And that was mind-blowing. And then with the DRYS, you realize I was shorting the stock, right? When it broke 100. Just based on valuation, just based on, blah, 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 some charting, whatever I was thinking about at the time. And it just happened to go up 15 more points, basically getting me out. And then we haven't seen the light of day in that stock since. Never did I think it would go to 15 bucks or 12 or whatever it is. Never in a million years. I'm not going to say that. And I probably would have got out of the puts on those as well. But the story that I'm trying to tell you here is instead of going big, and what I proved to myself 2 weeks ago was when I bought 20 stocks. You realize I bought 20 stocks, and I went 20 for 20, and I made a grand total of $6,128. That is absurd. If one of those positions I would have taken a full 1,000 shares, or maybe given a shot with 10 or 20 calls, I would have done well. But just with like my sports gambling, when I'm betting $100 or $200, it seems to be working out, so why should I stray from that path? But here's the thing. I'm never going to make the money back that I've lost. And with the mentality that I have is that I'm always digging out of a hole. So from now on, I think we're going to just wipe the slate clean. I'm going to try to forget about the nuisance. Or just as early as last week, or a few weeks ago when I was telling you I was selling the pot. The stock went up 30 points, people, after I got out. I'm forgetting about who I am. I'm forgetting about the whole concept of embracing the horror. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to trade as normal as I normally would do. But I'm only going to trade small lots and try to see, because I don't want that to alter the curse. Because the curse is always about when I do something irregular and it goes wrong, and then I tell you about it, and then it gets right. So I'm going to try to just tell you exactly what I'm doing on a daily basis, because now it's basically 95 to 100% wrong all the time, except for the fact that I sold out of the GTI. Would you believe? Of course, it had to annoy me. I sold it the day before the earnings came out. There was no way I was holding on to this stock. I mean, I had brought my cost average. I was buying that stock in the 20s. I bought some at 15, 12, 11. I bought the mother load at 666 just for a goof. because I thought it would be funny to be buying the number of the beast on a stock. 666. Next thing you know, the stock's trading back to $8, and my cost average was down to $8.40. So at $8.40, I didn't take the profit. I had once, twice chance to do it, so I said forget about it. Next time I get a chance to get out, I'm getting out of the entire position flat. And of course, the stock popped up $1 or whatever the next day, and then promptly fell 50%. That's the kind of market we're in. You can have a stock that goes up 100%, back down 50%. This is psychotic. But you know what? I know there's guys out there that are making money doing this, right? Why don't you come and help me out? Because at this point, except for today, because I started buying again on those, I started buying again last week, just the Qs, not really in any positions. But when the Qs got hammered again, I dipped my toe back into the Qs. But as far as these trying to figure out what these companies are worth and looking long term, I don't know. I think that game might be over. But at the same time, if the game right now is rally 3 days, pull back 3 days, rally 3 days, that's pretty good too, as long as you don't get caught on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do is every time I do a bad trade, not only am I going to get spanked, hopefully some more, because I like getting spanked, I'm going to have to tell you exactly what I'm doing. And most of it, at this point, and I think, I don't know if it's ever going to stop at this point. Whoa. Bells are going off as I talk about this point. I forgot who I was. You got to embrace the horror that I'm out there and I'm getting slammed. I'm getting hammered around. I'm not going to cry about it or whine about it anymore. When the external problems, the problems that my wife and I sat down, we figured out what the stress level was all about, and it's basically our kids don't sleep anymore. So the agitation gets to a level where we start fighting. We don't even know what we're fighting about. Oh, I understand now. We've only slept 45 minutes over the last 3 days, and that could weigh on you. That could really get to you. There's nothing you can do about it. Then the money issues come around. What am I doing in my life? That gets thrown in there. And all hell breaks loose. So, and I've been promising this whole interactive website. It's going to cost a lot of money. Just to tell you the truth, I don't have the money to build the website the way I want it. Okay? As far as the radio station is concerned, that we're going to be able to talk to each other, I think I'm just going to throw that onto the website and build around that. Because the only way we're going to make this thing happen so you really can fully embrace the fucking horror of how awful I can be on a daily basis is if you actually hear what I'm doing on a daily basis, tell you and listen to what I'm saying, and you'll see it. You'll see it. Just as early as a couple of days ago with the Solar Fund, SOLF, I was short, 6,000 shares at cost average of about $9.10. It finally broke down. I covered most of it at an average of $8.75. And I said, that's a good trade. And that's one good trade out of the last 50 that I made some money on. I guarantee that $8.61, where the low print of the day was that will not hold up. And the stock will plummet over the next few days. And the stock got absolutely hammered. That's called embracing the horror. That's knowing the crowster. That I'm finally throwing a bone. That can only mean that the trade is going to be worth 10 times more than what I made on it. And there it went. Just like everything else. And I'm sick of myself. And I hope you're not sick of it. Because I'm sick of wallowing in this misery and doing awful. But you know what? Apparently it's not going to end. So I'm just going to keep on spewing. If you could just withstand the annoyance of it all. Because through it all, the bottom line is this asshole moron could make you money. That's what it really was all about. It's therapy for me, of course, because I don't want to pay for a therapist. Because my online therapist is, she's really confused with me right now. Barking it out, it's not working, But now she's trying to tell me that if I hold myself up, if I put my posture in a right way, and convince my body that I'm in a good mood, that my brain will eventually think that I'm in a good mood, and I will actually be in a good mood. So I'm going to put a stick up my ass and sit up with a nice posture today and smile irregularly all day to see if I can convince my body and soul that I'm in a good mood. Up until then, I'm just going to punch stuff. Alright, so get to the chat room. I'm going to let you know what I'm doing. And from now on, we're going to keep a track record. Alright, I'll see you.